So we are going to be using the Wonderful World stamp set. This is one of the celebration choices for a $100 order. The designer series paper that goes with this. I've got to make some designer series paper charts too. I am just, too many things. Okay. Let's just look at this paper because holy cow, is it pretty. Okay, so we have this. So if you spend $100 in my online store, this is one of the items you can choose. This is one of the $100 items. It's called Wonderful World Bundle. It's the stamp set and the paper. And then here is the paper. So we've got the front and back. Look at this rich raspberry paper. We've got this, some pink, and these little flowers. You can like just cut these out with circles and just use them on your cards. It's amazing. We've got this fun pattern here. Here's the back side. Beautiful. And then we have this, the yellow stripes. And the back is this fun kind of mossy meadow, pinky purple. Love it. Then we have this little foliage side. And then, of course, all this beautiful purples, which I really love. And then we have these giant flowers here, which I feel like you could fussy cut those out and then use them on your projects. And then we have this on the back side. So the paper, as usual, when they have these bundles, is amazing. And so I have a feeling I'm going to have a few stamp sets because I'm going to need extra paper, but that's how it works. Okay. I'm also going to be using the Stamparatus along with the Rays of Light stamp set. Or stamp. So I have that already on my Stamparatus. I'm going to set that to the side for a second. Then we're using the large floral piece right here. And I've got some orchid ink. And then we're going to be using some of the festive pearls. And then I have a couple different ribbon choices here. I'm not sure if I want to use the white glitter ribbon or the white seam binding. I'm not sure. We're going to find out here momentarily. So to start out with, I have my papers. I've got a 4 by 5 1/4 inch piece of Orchid Oasis, and I'm going to ink up this sun ray, the rays. What's this called again? Rays of sunshine? Rays of light. Gosh. Sitting right here, and I can't remember. Okay, so where's my pad? Here it is. So I'm going to ink this up with the Orchid Oasis. So I've just got that. Get that nice and inky. And then I have to figure out, this is what I did earlier today when I was practicing. I just kind of laid my paper on that, and then I flipped the Stamparatus upside down. And then I did this. And then I have my little air hockey thing that I can transfer the ink with. This is actually a Stampin' Up! Used to sell cookie press stamps. And there was like a little silicone piece that you'd stick on this handle and you'd press it into your cookie. So I just took the handle and added a piece of felt. But you can also get air hockey sombreros, which I have a link to my Amazon crafty favorites down there, and you can get it there. Or you can just make your own like I did. Okay, so then we'll pull our paper out and look what we have. How cool is that? Okay, so we're done with the Stamparatus. Now I have a 3 by 4 piece of white cardstock, and I'm going to bring in just a scratch paper just so I don't get ink all over my desk. Ooh, I just threw my paper. Oh, look what I just did. Of course I did. Of course I did. Why wouldn't I do that? I'm trying to get some of that off so it doesn't leak through. We'll hope that it doesn't. Ugh, geez, Barb, come on. Okay. So we are now going to stamp these flowers on this layer. So I'm going to stamp one right in the middle. And then I'm going to stamp one to each side. So you can kind of see where I'm just going to sort of place that so it goes around that one. And then this one, I'll place it so it goes around that one. That's it. That's all we're doing. Whoops. Then I'm going to bring in a trimmer. Oh my heavens, I just waxed the camera. Jeez Louise. All right, things are starting to go south for me. I need to relax a little. Okay, I'm gonna get that set back up again. Sorry, you guys. I need to move these things out of the way. Okay, so I'm gonna cut this at 1 inch increments. So it's 4 inches wide. So we're gonna cut it at 3. And we're gonna keep these kind of in order. And 2. I know, Judy, geez. I start to get a little bit frustrated and then everything just goes to pot, as my mom would say. All right, and then we're going to put that on the 1 inch mark and cut that. So now we have our pieces. We're going to keep them in order. There we go. Okay, and then I also have a piece of Starry Sky. And this is about, well, where's my ruler? Because I can't remember. It's 3 1/4 by 4 1/2. Yeah, 4 1/2. Okay. So we are going to add these pieces just as they were cut. So we're going to keep them in order. We're going to add them to this, leaving a little bit of space in between each one. So I'm going to start out with the 2 end pieces. So I'll put this one on first. And I'll just leave a little bit of space at the edge. And then I'm going to put this one on the other end. So just a little bit of glue. So that one's going to go. And I work better when I have something in my right hand and I can do it this way. So I always flip things upside down. I know that's probably a little weird, but I can just see better without my other hand getting in the way. So there you go. All right. And then I will put the 2 center pieces in. And so it's just a way to take this kind of, not that it's plain, because it's not plain by any means, but it just kind of jazzes it up a little bit by separating the pieces out, I think, anyway. And about like so. That one, well, it's probably glued. We're going to leave it. Okay, so then look at this. We're going to take this and we're going to put it on that. Look how cool that looks. Like, whoa. I did this through a swap, and when I did the swap, I was at my daughter's house, so I didn't have access to everything that I have here now. And so I just sent my swap out with it on a plain piece of orchid, which it looks pretty. You know, this is pretty. There's nothing wrong with that. But wow, when you stick that rays of light underneath that, whoa, that's just amazing. So that's what we're going to do. All right. I am going to now fold this in half, get my bone folder out. There we go. And we'll add this to our layer. So they're both orchid. The card base is orchid and the layer that I did with the rays of light. And of course, we're hiding the sun, which is okay. I think this is a pretty cool stamp. All right. Then we'll add this with some dimensionals. But first, we need to figure out what ribbon we want to use. I don't know if this is going to be like too much. If I did the glittery stuff, well, you know, it might work. I think what I'm going to do is I think I'm going to have it come from the inside to the front. And then I'll just tape it behind that other layer. That's my plan. So I'm going to cut that. Oh, these are not ribbon scissors. Those are crappy scissors. Okay, so I am going to try to center it as best I can. I feel like that's centered good enough. Maybe not. Scoot down just a little bit. There we go. Okay. And since our main layer is going to hide that, we don't have to care that we have taped ends on the front of the card because no one's going to see it. I mean, unless they take the card apart, but why would they? Okay. I know. I just got this background stamp, you guys, and I don't even know why. I can't remember what I saw. I saw somebody did something. I don't know. And so I got it, but I hadn't used it until today. All of a sudden I was thinking to myself, gosh, what could I do for behind there? And I was like, oh, ooh, let's use that Rays of Light stamp set. Or stamp. I guess it's not really a set. It's a stamp. All right, so let's add some dimensionals. Oh my gosh, we're almost going to use up this set or this page of dimensionals. That's always exciting. And you get to toss that sheet in the trash. But you know what? Don't toss those. And I'm going to just show you a really quick tip. Why not? When you get done with them, because we just have another new product that's in the holiday catalog. Where's my holiday catalog? And it's called, I can't remember, so I'm going to look it up and I'm going to tell you. It's right here. It's the Pearlized Enamel Effects Basics. That's quite the mouthful. That's quite the word. It's on page 59. And it's these three little kind of well, they're not really like paint. It's almost like a thick paint, and it's pearlized. And what I have found is if you keep these kind of sheets, stuff that's already got sticky on it, or that had something sticky on it, I don't even know where I got this, but you can like squirt, like I squirted the this pinky color on here, and then you can just pop those off and use them as embellishments. So that is kind of cool. And they won't stick to this paper. So it's the same thing with your, like when you use glue dots, normally you tear this paper off after you're done with your glue dots and you toss it in the trash. Keep it, because you can just squirt a whole bunch of this stuff and make all these little dots, and then they just peel right off of the sheet. And same thing with this, because this is that same kind of paper. It's like slick and it's releasable, which I'm sure is not a word, but you know what I'm saying. So you could, so when I'm done with this, I'm not going to throw this out. I'm going to keep it so that I can take this stuff, because like here, I just did it on white cardstock, and I'm not going to be able to get that off. So it's okay if you just want to like design something on a card, like make some dots or make a line, fine, just do it on your cardstock. But if you want to make elements that you can reuse, or that you can use, not reuse, that you can use, then do them on this kind of backing paper. And yeah, there you go. There's a tick. There's a trick for you. Okay, which has nothing to do with this card. Okay, so we have the front on there. Now I have some of these adhesive backed pearls, and I think we're going to go with a few silvers. I'm getting these ready. I'm doing my product shares, and so I have the rest of my stuff is probably out on my porch right now, and so I've got these cut up. So this is actually going to be my share, some of it, and I'm just going to maybe just kind of randomly plop some of these silvers just wherever, like in some of this open space, maybe a little bit. Where else? Maybe like right there, just to add a little bit of interest. So there's not really anything spectacular about this card except that rays of light background makes it look really cool. So here's our inside layer. So just because we have a little bit of the beautiful floral image on that outside, we are going to just stamp a little flower image here on the inside. Maybe like that. That'll work. Okay, get that out of the way. Alrighty, and let's get this added. We can use seal for this. We don't need our liquid glue. We can just use some seal. All right. And I'm just going to mention this just because I do it every time. Those of you guys that are demonstrators that obviously aren't going to purchase anything from me, I totally get it. I wouldn't order anything from you. But there is a little button right below the chat box. It's a little $sign. And if you are so inclined, it's basically like a tip. So if you wanted to give me a tip, that would be awesome. I would appreciate it. And then you get a pinned comment, and you get to choose a cute little emoji. So there you go. It's called the Super Thanks. And then if you're watching the replay of this video, the Super Thanks button is below the video on the bottom. So there we go. So we are done with this card. So pretty simple, but what a wow factor with that rays of light background stamp, right?